Let's go.
I love our intro music, y'all.
I know, me too. Yes, yes. Hey, ladies, how y'all been?
All right.
Rested.
Rested. We are live.
So
tell me who you are.
I'm Carmen, aka Mama D.
Yes, and I'm Kawashika.
And I'm Karen, aka K Dog, back from 1985, my high school days, y'all. I'm living back in the past.
Going
What's
back,
up?
back. Yes, how y'all doing, ladies?
I'm good.
Good. How you doing, Mama D?
I'm good, girl. I'm good. I went to Elon. I'm representing today.
Yeah.
Elon University to watch my nephew play.
Oh,
It was so much fun, you guys, being back in the stadium and yelling and screaming and hollering. Like they lost by 2 points, but when I tell you it was an excellent game, with 8 seconds left, they missed a field goal. Well, the field goal was tipped from the 35-yard line, and they ended up losing. But it was a really good game. It was fun, exciting. I love football.
I know, right?
What school is that?
Elon University. It's in North Carolina, close to like Beans. It's in between Greensboro and Raleigh-Durham.
Oh, okay. You know what? One thing for me, these university, we don't know how many universities out there. And you know what? When my son played NT, AT&T, and I found out there was another black college, I was just like, where? Because all I know about is Southern. How come we don't know about those other schools? So see, I have never heard of this school before.
And Elon is their D1.
Really?
They're D1.
Wow. So you know what, we got to bring some of these colleges on to expose our kids to other schools that they can go to and get education, because I've never heard of that school before. Wow. So what else did y'all have going on? What else did y'all do this week?
Kawashika, tell us about the hat. Girl, we gotta hear.
Guys, listen. Oh, hold on, give me a second here. So I end up going to California. I went to LA, of course. Gorgeous. Oh my God. LA is the place to be. I don't think about LA is it is expensive, but it is absolutely gorgeous, right? So of course, you know, once I got to the stadium, the stadium is like really big. It's like a historical, like they're not gonna turn it down. And I see why. It's just amazing to be in a stadium like that, guys. So I ended up purchasing me a hat because I was like, yeah, I'm from Texas. So I gotta represent. Yes, but the game, my son, of course, they played Jose, and they did win. Oh my God, the band was awesome. You got to see the mascot ride the horse. Like, I like all of that. Listen, I had so much fun, guys. I did. It was like a mini vacay. But the most important thing, I was able to spend time with my son. Oh my
That's
God, that was
good.
so
Absolutely.
refreshing. And he had just moved in his graduate apartment, so I was able to decorate
Oh,
um,
with the
and
mama touch.
yes, and we
Yes.
danced and yes. So that was the icing on the cake. That was the whole cake.
Yeah,
I miss my baby. I am not gonna lie. I'm like, oh my God. And then I hate to leave. I had to leave,
right.
but everything, it was good. The people, the game, just live, just in a positive environment. And I learned the signals. This means victory.
Oh, oh, when the crowd, that's
Yeah,
the
when the
crowd.
band, yes, when they play their song, when it's, the fighting song and everybody doing this. And I'm like, why they doing this? Do this mean peace? Because we're new. Yes, we're like new. My son knew, I'm new. So, we got to break in. So, this crazy woman running around like who is she? Who is she? She's Nixon's mom. Yes. So, right on time. But yeah, I had so much fun.
I saw that video of you walking down them stairs. Girl, you looked it like you belong there. Like I am here. Let's go.
And I was looking at it the other day. I said, I was moving fast. I mean, I did a little editing to it, but I was still moving down them steps a little fast to be 42. But that's the excitement. Like once
Yeah,
I get into the environment, you cannot stop me. Either you're gonna join me or you're gonna get away
Yes.
from me.
Or get
I'm
behind
telling you.
you.
Yes. And so, we got to sit, the parents and the family got to sit very low, like the third row to, I'm talking about, they did us, the hospitality was awesome.
wow.
But for some parents, they're just not like me. So when they sit there and be quiet, I gotta move. Okay, guys, excuse me. I'm gonna go over here with the kids. I'm sorry.
So
I
you
was
can
right over there
cheer.
with yes,
So you didn't get
yes.
to go
'Cause
where they
I'm
were making
loud.
noise.
Yes, I'm loud,
Yes.
and many times they put the camera. I'm up on the camera. It's just. I was born into this. That's all I can tell y'all. I was
That
just born into it, and then to see my son to get to play, he didn't score anything, but just to get to see him on the field, because we're new. You can't just
right.
jump in
Yes.
there and just think you can take over.
Right.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
anyway, it was awesome.
Well, that's
I'm
good.
a
That's
Trojan
Yes. A
you
mom.
Trojan
are.
mama.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. And you
Okay,
know
well,
what?
you
I
guys,
don't
I
think.
just
Go ahead.
mhm. I just wanted to remind everybody to follow us on IG, Facebook, YouTube, and Can
Yes,
We Talk Sports. And if you're watching us on YouTube, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on your notifications. Make sure you let people know you're watching us, okay?
absolutely.
That's right. That's right. So what I did this past week, I went to a conference, and the
Mm.
conference was called Millions Conference, and this is my fourth year, and it was awesome just being around millionaires. When
Right,
you are esteemed to go where somebody else is, you got to surround yourself around them, and
Right.
so it
right.
was it was just wonderful, wonderful life practical things. You and the Millions Conference was for entrepreneurs, so it's for
Mhm.
those people who have businesses. And you think that there is this, trick, not trick, but this little thing where you do this and then you become a millionaire. Well,
No.
no, it's you have to continue to work in it. You
Mhm.
have to, the God, one of the speakers, he brought it from Genesis, and he brought it from when God created the heaven and earth. And he said when he created, he hovered over it. And I was
Mm-hmm.
like, he said, when you create a
Mm-hmm.
business, you got to hover over your business until
Yes.
you speak things into existence. And I was just like, wow, it was
It's
just
true.
it was an amazing experience, and
I'm
tell
going
everybody.
next year. I'm going
I
next
want to
year.
go next year.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I started
You're going to have a
following
whole
her.
group of us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's
We're
just good to
following
be
her.
encourage each
Yeah,
other.
she's really good. She's really real. She's a real prophet.
Yes,
And,
yeah,
and the way you know, because you have a lot of people come against. So when a lot of people come against you, the real deal.
yeah,
You don't have
yes,
nobody coming against you,
Yep.
you're not real.
yes,
And
yes.
she speaks her mind. Oh my God. I said, where you been, girl? Where
Right.
you been? I would have been following you. But yeah, so
Yeah,
I definitely want to be in that atmosphere because she is really, really good. She really is. And she follow God. That's the key.
yes,
That's
yes.
the key.
So, so you guys, I'm so excited about today's show. We have a hockey player, ice hockey player, and she's a girl. So I just
Mhm.
can't wait to say, baby, how did you
Mhm.
get into ice hockey? So
Right.
I'm just excited to have Saroya Tinker on the show. She was drafted as a professional hockey player, and I'm just so excited to have her on the show. So she's coming up real soon. So you guys stay tuned. Watch the show to the end. Share this video. Tell somebody who like hockey to share this to come and subscribe to our talk show.
Right.
Mhm.
So let's go into some hot topics. So let's watch this clip, you guys.
Let's switch gears now. Defending U.S. Open champ Naomi Osaka suffered a surprise defeat overnight, losing her composure and the match in front of a crowd at Arthur Ashe Stadium. And now she's talking about taking another break from competition. Janae Norman has the story.
Overnight, a tough loss for Naomi Osaka at the U.S. Open. Her frustration on full display before delivering this stunning admission during an emotionally charged press conference.
I honestly don't know when I'm going to play my next tennis match. I think I'm going to take a break from playing for a while.
Osaka's decision coming after a grueling three-set defeat in the third round at the U.S. Open against teenager Leylah Annie Fernandez. The tennis superstar seen slamming her racket to the ground. Now she says she needs a break from the pressures of the sport.
When I win, I don't feel happy. I feel more like a relief. And then when I lose, I feel very sad. And I don't think that's normal.
Osaka's struggles with mental health dates back to 2018 when she was victorious at the U.S. Open, withdrawing from Roland Garros in May. The tennis player telling Times Magazine in July, "I communicated that I wanted to skip press conferences at Roland Garros to exercise self-care and preservation of my mental health. I stand by that. Athletes are humans. Perhaps we should give athletes the right to take a mental break from media scrutiny on a rare occasion without being subject to strict sanctions." Her U.S. Open loss marks Osaka's first competition since the Summer Olympic Games when she participated in the opening ceremony for Japan, her home country. Now it's unclear what the future holds.
And the 23-year-old saying right now tennis isn't fun for her. The announcement now opens questions as to when Osaka will return to the court, even raising the question if she ever will. Guys.
All right, Janae, thank you.
Wow.
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 Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. You know what? These athletes, they are human. They are human. They're kids. They deal with
Mhm.
emotions. They deal with ups
Yeah.
and downs and highs. And so we have put these kids on a pedestal that they're trying to live up to, and
Mhm.
they're afraid to fall or to not perform the way we think they should perform. And so we
Mhm.
have to get out in front of this and get these mothers and really talk to them about mental health for the kids.
Absolutely. I just think back to um, the first match that she won when she beat Serena, and that should have been like a joyous occasion. She like won, a grand slam, and the way that it ended and how upset Serena was and stuff, like she didn't get to enjoy it like that. It didn't bring joy to her, even though she had just, and I just think back to how her introduction to us was, and how all this time she's been struggling with not having joy, like it not bringing her joy, the sport that she loves. And that's hard. It's
That's
hard.
real hard.
And so it makes me think, is she playing because she wants to play, or is she playing because that's what she's being pushed to do? It just looks like that it's taking her heart out of it, and it's just not something that she wants to do. So I question, why is she even playing? Because when it's something that you want to do, there's a drive that overtakes you, and it pushes you through to the next level. So I'm thinking, is this a parental thing, or what is it? Is it something financial for the family? I mean, what is the driving point? Because she looks exasperated. She's just out of it, and she cannot cope with it. But my heart goes out to her, because I know parents can tend to live through children. You see it in Little League, and those coaches, the way they act. Come on, man. But so that's my thought. I just want to know, what's the root of it, because it's bigger than not winning. It's bigger than just, oh, I lost again, or what have you. Because winning and losing, that's a part of the game. That's a part of being an athlete. It comes with, you have to. There's losses. We have that saying, on any given Sunday. You can win or lose, and that's how you go and you come back the next season or the next game. So my question is, what's driving her? That's it. I want to know why did you even start playing tennis?
Yeah, because what got me when she said when she win, she feels a
Yes.
release. When she
Really.
lose, she feels sad. Release and sad. Normally, when you win, of course, you're happy, right? You're really happy. So, in this case, somewhere the ball has been dropped. Like, she may have loved it at one point, but it's some background chatter. It's almost like you said. Is it a love for the parents? It's more the parents want her to do it, because when, like you said, when you love to do something, it just drives you to do more. Your passion to do more. So release. Anytime you want to release something and you say it doesn't make sense. She feel a release.
It's just like no peace.
On either
Right.
way. On either
Yeah,
side.
either way.
If I win or lose.
Yeah. But
No peace.
our athletes, they experience burnout. Just think, if
Yes.
you've been playing a sport ever since you could hold a tennis racket or bounce a ball, ever since you were 6 or 7 years old, and you've been doing it, and now you're 20 some years old, you can't even go and continue to practice, hang out with your friends, because you got to practice to be better. So just her being able to have a normal life has been interrupted, because she became a professional tennis player. And so being able to go to Target and not nobody following you or bothering you, that's valuable, to have that type of peace as an athlete. So what we kind of think, what is it, the gold, the glitter, that things are glitter, what's
What
that?
you think?
Everything
All that
that
glitter
glitters is
isn't
not
gold.
gold.
Yeah. We
Mhm.
strive to want to have the money that goes along with professional athletes, but what about everything else, the baggage that goes with it?
Right.
So with you ladies being mothers, with children with active sports, what would you tell a tip that we could give a parent tonight about how to handle the pressures of your child playing sports?
Good question. Good question.
For me, I go back to balance. I think that is my number one thing to be able to share with parents is balance, because I experienced not creating a balance for my son. It was all about sports. I did not introduce nothing else that he could like to do. And so I think we have to go back to balancing. You know, when family functions come up, oh, I can't go because I have to practice. Well, no, keep those things open. Practice. That one practice is not going to cause you to lose. Create that balance, create that family relationship, and stop putting the sports above those things. But elite athletes, in order to be elite, that's kind of like what they do. I haven't seen an athlete that's been able to balance it all. Do you know of an athlete that can say that you've seen that balances family, kids, and the game?
Well, what I want you to
It's
remember,
tough.
you say the word balance. These coaches, they actually don't allow balance. What do you mean you miss one practice? No, they feel like I can't mix practice. I gotta go. I gotta do this. I can't go. Coach said I can't miss it. No, we're going to the family reunion, so come on, let's go. But it's
Right.
like the coaches give that pressure as well. And just to do balance, you just have to put your foot down as a parent and say, no, this is how we're gonna do it.
Yeah.
When my kids were coming up, I liked to instill in them a lot of different um, things for them to do. First of all, I wanted them off the streets. I wanted to keep them busy. So, I mean, Malik was playing football, but Malik was playing the saxophone. Malik was in the jazz band. Malik was a black belt in karate. Like, just not just one thing. And it wasn't just football, it was basketball. He ran track. It wasn't like we have to give these kids other options in their life, and especially and coming from being a teacher, like academics was going to be first. And I told them all, like all this other stuff, football and all of that other, it's extra curriculum. It comes after you get your studies. So, I mean, I worked for the head football coach. I was his assistant, and he was mad as heck at me when Malik didn't get to go out there and practice because he didn't do his summer reading. No, you're going to sit here in this chair in front of me until your summer reading is done. And I don't care who is mad at you, but you're going to get this school first. You're going to get your academics first. And when you get done and when you do it and you excel at it, then you can go out on that football field, but not until. So they have to have some balance.
Yeah.
And they have to have other things in their life
Right.
that they can turn to.
Having fun. They got to have fun. Excuse me. Yes. I believe, like, when I tell my son, just, go have fun when you get out there on that field, or just period. You got to have fun, guys. Some type of recreational besides what you're doing, as far as football, but basketball, you gotta have fun. You got something else you love to do. Go to the movies, something with your family, But of course, in college, it's a different ball game because the family is away. You really, out there by yourself, and so, but you still gotta find. Because I believe my son said he haven't even, just been around LA. He just, it's just practice, practice, practice. And it's really now just practice, 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 or whatever they do. And so it's just like, it's almost we taught them in a way because we go to work, and some of us had to work 2 jobs. they literally seen this. Like, seriously, like, we didn't stop. We, we did whatever we needed to do, to take care of our family. So it's almost being taught in a way, from us. But of course, vacation, taking them on vacation trips. But yeah, having fun. I think that'll help. That'll basically balance it out and go from there.
That's good. That's good. That's some good advice. We might need to bring on a mental health coach or counselor to come and give some practical things to the parents of what they can do or things that they can look out for when they see burnout or they see something going on with their students. So I think that will be good because that's what this show is about, is bringing a resource to the parents to help them make an informed decision.
Right. And then of course us, the Black community, don't like talking about mental health. And I don't know why.
It's a stigma, and we have to break that. We have to break that stigma off of our people, because all of us need some help every now and then.
Everybody.
Well,
It's like
because we're so rooted in the Black community and with the foundation of church, and so we feel that everything has to work through prayer, and it does. But then we have to remember that in every other area of our life, He's given the understanding to people to create other things, to make things that make life simpler for us. Just the having the knowledge of building the airplane and having it suspended in midair. I mean, just that whole thing. And so there are people that are professionals in every area, and God gives that. He gives that knowledge, and we share it in every area of our lives, except when it comes to mental health. It's okay to have a professional, and that's not what we're taught. We're taught that if Jesus can't fix it, and that's just honest conversation. And don't you think for a minute that Big Mama don't believe that he can fix it. But we have other resources. We know who our source is, but there are other resources that we can take on and we have access to. And we just don't in our Black community. It's just shunned upon. Growing up, you hear, oh, that family over there, they're crazy. And you grow up thinking, oh, yeah, they crazy. All them over there are crazy. Not knowing that there was a mental health issue that need to either be medicated or talked out. But we did not. And that's the whole thing, that we have that, as Mama D said, that stigma of no, we can't. We're so bent on family secrets. No, we can't tell. You don't tell what go on in this house. Whatever happens in this house stays in this house.
Stay in this
and
house.
we all grew up hearing it if we haven't communicated to our own children. And so we have to understand that that's where they are with it, and that's what's going on. Look like I had a little difficulty. The devil is a lie. I'm gonna talk about it.
He getting it.
He don't want you to tell the truth. He don't want you to tell the truth. And
but Big Mama, you are absolutely right. If I'm sick, if I'm not feeling well, I'm gonna pray about it. I'm gonna lay hands on myself. My daughter is the one; she will just knock you down trying to lay hands on you. But I'm gonna pray about it. Yeah, I'm gonna give it to God. But you know what? I'm gonna go to the doctor too if I feel like I need to go to the doctor, because the Lord has given me those resources to tap into. So if I feel like I need some mental help, I'm gonna pray about it. I'm gonna give it to God, but I'm gonna go see me a psychiatrist too. I haven't yet, but you know what? When I was teaching, thing about teachers, y'all, the students have to think you just a little bit off the edge, because otherwise they're not going to take you seriously. Oh, she ain't going to do that. No, they have to be thinking, oh, she kind of crazy. She might just follow through on what she said she was going to do. And I believe as a mama too, you got to be a little bit crazy. So
yes. So you guys,
just so they know, like, yeah, she a little off the edge. She might just go ahead and do what she said she was going to do.
Take an inch.
That's what has been shadowed over us, the fear of moms being able to talk and being able to open our voices. But we need to open our voices. We need to speak up on behalf of our kids, because we're allowing our kids to go to these people, and some of them don't have the best interests for our kids. And so we have to defend, we have to stand up for our kids.
Yeah.
So,
yes.
But I guess has arrived, and I can't wait to bring her on the show. Welcome to the show, Miss Tinker.
Yay.
At just 22 years of age, Saroya Tinker's voice in hockey is loud, it's impactful, and it's important. She loves the game, but at times it hasn't loved her back. Now she's using her platform as a member of the NWHL's Metropolitan Riveters to share her experience and make a difference. Not only for herself and her league, but for the young Black girls that she wants to see thrive in the sport.
Always speak your mind, do what you're passionate about, do what you love. Never apologize for being you and having an opinion. And that's a lot of what I stress to my mentor girls, is that we need to find reasons every day to love ourselves. And that's so important as Black women, that we build each other up. But at the end of the day, it's time to make change. And that's what I've realized that I'm here to do.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome to the show.
Of course.
I'm so glad. I can't wait to hear your story. I need to know, how did you get into ice hockey?
Yeah, well, thank you so much for having me. I got into ice hockey because I'm Canadian. So here in Canada, it's our national sport. So I think just about everybody has played hockey or put on skates. But I got into hockey. My dad's Black, my mom's white. My dad used to play a lot of hockey within the Scarborough region in Ontario, and he experienced a lot of racism in the game and wanted to put his kids in it to prove people wrong.
Wow.
Oh, that's good.
What'd your mama say?
My mom loves it. My mom loves the game as well and loves watching us play. But it definitely my dad is the one that put us in and really loves hockey for the most part.
When I was growing up, I remember roller derby hockey, and that was the women. I mean, they would be aggressive and they would be knocking you down. And so, is there a difference? I don't even know if they still have that right now, but is there a difference between that and ice hockey?
Yeah, I definitely think ice hockey is definitely very physical. There's not direct body contact in women's hockey, so we're not allowed to like open ice hit people, but there's definitely body contact, and it definitely gets rough and tough out there. So I love the physical play. I'm a big defenseman, so I'm not scared to get in there and use my body.
Wow. All right.
I love it, Saroya. So first of all, I have to hear you say about, because I love the way Canadians say about.
About.
I love it. Okay, so
beautiful.
I love hockey. Like I love hockey. And I love to watch it. Tell me about how it was being a female in the sport of hockey, and how did you keep all your teeth? Because
yeah, I think in the sport of hockey, I think it's definitely very difficult in terms of being a female. I think that automatically when you go into the rink, you're the one that's going to have to get dressed in a different room, or have to put up with all the boys on your team. But at the same time, I think it definitely brings up another challenge for us females, but I think it's a good challenge, and we obviously have pushed through it as we see our professional leagues, girls playing in university. So pushing through that adversity and proving the boys wrong and making sure that they know that we're just as good.
absolutely.
And now you went to Yale.
Yes.
Oh my God. That is amazing. Tell us about that whole experience.
Yeah, I mean, definitely hockey is what brought me to the Ivy League. So I definitely am blessed to have that in my life. I definitely don't think, I mean, I had the grades, but I'm not sure that I would have made it all the way to Yale University without hockey. But my experience at Yale was amazing. I didn't necessarily have the best experience with my teammates, but off campus or on campus with other people that weren't athletes or other sports teams, I had an amazing time. The networking and the connections I made, to the friends I made, lifelong friends. It was an amazing experience, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. I know I'm incredibly blessed to have gone there.
What'd you get your degree in? What'd you major in?
Yeah, so I double majored in the history of science, medicine, and public health, as well as sociology.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Wow.
Excellent.
Go, girl.
So how do I don't know if you heard us talking before, but how do you feel about the mental part of athletics right now?
I definitely think it's being highlighted, and it is something that should be highlighted. I myself have struggled in the past mentally, and I think that a lot of athletes should be respected for their choices and whether or not they play. In terms of making sure that they're okay mentally, I think that people don't realize how much of a mental aspect goes into athletics. But just as much as we got to prepare ourselves physically in the gym, we also have to prepare ourselves mentally once we have a bad shift or we lose a game or you make a bad play. You got to snap out of that. And I think that a lot of people don't necessarily have that, but a lot of other people also have things going on outside of our sport. We're more than just our sport. We're not just athletes. So we're humans. So just as anybody else in the workplace may have mental health issues, we do too.
Absolutely.
Like super. Yeah, we look at y'all like y'all have these superpowers and you know, but wow. So, there's other or young Black girls that may want to start doing hockey. Like, what advice would you give them if they're afraid to do it, to get them started? Like, how would you encourage them?
My advice is to go for it. I think that you should always try something out if you want to try it. And for myself, I think that we should always encourage other Black women to try new things. And we've got currently 6 Black females playing professional hockey at the professional level and in the Olympics. So there's 6 of us here. We've trailblazed for you guys, and we want to see more of you guys in the game. So get in there, put on your skates, and kill it, just like the rest of us have. And we'll be here to support you along the way.
Now, is that just in Canada, or is that in the United States too, like the 6 total?
Yeah, so the 6 total is within my league and then within the PWHPA. So Sarah Nurse is with the PWHPA, and she's on the Canadian Olympic team. And then there are 5 girls in the PHF that are currently playing within my league. That there's 5 of us, so that makes 6 of us playing professionally.
Wow,
now
that's exciting. Really
is. And she actually got drafted. I didn't even realize they had drafts. So tell me about that whole experience of being drafted.
Yeah, so I definitely was unsure of whether or not I wanted to play professionally, just of what I experienced in the game before. But my coach, my senior year at Yale, definitely made sure to let me know that my talents were going to waste if I didn't enter the draft. And I was super excited to enter. I definitely didn't expect to be drafted as high as I was. 4th overall by the Riveters, but at the same time, I recognize what I bring to the team, and I am definitely a strong defenseman out there. So if they're looking for people to make sure no one gets by them, that's me.
Now, the recruiting process for ice hockey is different than for other sports. Can you kind of elaborate on that for parents?
Yeah, so I mean, in the women's game, I played in high school. I played for my junior team, and started being recruited around, I would say, grade 9 is when schools started kind of inviting me to their camps and things like that. And then I actually verbally committed to Yale in my 10th grade summer. So
wow.
And NCAA is definitely fixing those rules now in terms of having recruiting kids early. But the men's side of the game is a little different. Men, they got to choose whether they want to go play in the NHL or if they want to take the school route. Whereas us women, we only really had that NCAA route to take after high school. And then after you play your 4 years in university, you're eligible to be drafted to play professionally, whether that's in North America or in Europe. And yeah, I mean, I think recruiting in hockey starts pretty early. Probably around the 9th grade is when you'll start getting those calls and being able to reach out to teams and things like that.
Now, is that like club? Is that like club hockey, or because I mean, 9th grade, that's just like still some places still junior high, so it's not like a high school team. So where are these kids getting the looks from?
Yeah, so a lot of it in the US, a lot of the high schools are strong, and they do recruit out of high school. Here in Canada, we don't have as many private schools that specifically focus on hockey. So we technically will recruit out of our club teams, out of our travel teams, things like that. So for myself, I was recruited by playing in the PWHL within Ontario, and that was the highest level I could play before going to college, but it wasn't in relation to my high school or anything. I drove 25 minutes to practice and things like that to play closer to Toronto on a competitive junior team. So it works different in Canada and US, but private schools are always a good option if you can get in and get a scholarship to go there, because they're obviously very expensive. But in Canada, we focus more on our travel and club teams for recruiting.
Wow.
Now it's hot. I think I might have heard that ice hockey is a very expensive sport to play.
Yes.
So kind of tell us about that. I mean, the equipment.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's another reason why we don't see a lot of diversity in the sport, is that the kids get pushed out so early just because of the cost. To put it into perspective, the top end sticks, so the sticks that I use, they're about $375 each, and that's for a stick. You need your skates. If you're getting top end skates, that's $1,200. If you're getting shin pads, you need your pants, you need your shoulder pads, elbow pads, helmet, gloves, all that stuff. So if you're buying your child top end equipment, you're probably spending around $3,500 on just about on everything.
Wow.
And that doesn't even include your league and your season costs and travel that you're going to be playing with. So I know for myself, in my junior year when I was being recruited on that team, I believe my parents' cost for me playing that season was around $9,000. And that didn't include hotel or travel, gas, or anything like that. So it's incredibly expensive. And there was definitely times I grew up in a lower to middle class family, and there's definitely times when we didn't have food in the fridge, but I was still going to hockey practice. So I recognize all the sacrifices that my parents made for me to be able to play.
Absolutely.
So once you get drafted, okay, that's where I was going, the salary.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the salary.
Yeah. So unfortunately, in our women's professional league right now, we don't make living wage. So max salary is about $35,000, and the minimum salary is about $10,000. So if you're a rookie player, you're receiving $10,000, and the higher end players in the league may be making around $30,000. If that's how their team decides to allocate the $300,000 that's allocated to each of the team to divide by 24 players. But yeah, so on average, if you divide it equally between each player, each team gets $300,000 divided by between 20 and 24 players. Each player is receiving between $12,000 and $14,000. So it's definitely difficult. We're not making living wage. Almost all of us have a 9 to 5 outside of our sport, but still got to be in the gym training. So we see the gaps here.
So do you get sponsorships, and how do you feel about the new rules? I don't know if you know about them in the United States, but these college kids being able to use their name and getting paid for advertising.
I think, yeah, we definitely are able to get sponsorships in our league. So a lot of that does come, a lot of my extra income comes from my social media collabs. I do a lot of public speaking, my mentorship program, painting, etc. But yeah, I think in terms of that, I think, I mean, well, it's pretty difficult, and we don't necessarily have a lot of time to allocate elsewhere. But yeah.
So did you paint the picture behind you?
I did not paint this behind me, but there are several other paintings down here in my apartment that I have painted.
I love it.
So, if you're not making the money, then it's definitely got to be the love for the sports. I mean, why else would you continue to do it? You just have to love it.
Yeah, and I mean that's really we all do love the sport, and we really want to make way for those women behind us so that they can make living wage. I know that I'm not making living wage, but the little girls that I'm mentoring right now, there's no reason why they shouldn't be when they reach this level. So we got to continue to push the agenda and make sure that we're still playing so that they have a league to play in when we're older. And although we might not make living wage, I'm sure all of us would love to see them make it when we're older and watching them.
Right.
So y'all pioneering the way.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's awesome.
So is it because the sport is not as popular, like the WNBA, how their salaries are different than the NBA. So, and I'm sure probably the men hockey sport get paid different.
Very well.
So that's where I guess equal rights come in.
Yeah.
Because you guys are playing. So is that because it's not as popular?
Well, that's where I think people don't necessarily understand what we talk about in terms of equal pay. For myself, I don't think that I expect to make millions of dollars playing hockey. I don't think that we're at that level. Or, the men have $1 million contracts. But I mean, I think the concept of us making living wage is the biggest thing. So I think it's definitely difficult, but the men make millions of dollars, and I think we should be, paid enough to put food on our plates. So
absolutely.
It's definitely I don't think it's not even that it's not as popular. I think that us women, we don't get the national television spotlight that we should. They tell us we don't bring in enough money, but they don't put us on TV. You got to put us on TV in order for us to make money. And every time a women's team or a women's championship gets put on TV, everybody says, oh, wow, there was millions of viewers. And it's like, yes, there are people who want to watch us. So put us on.
Wow.
And how can we find you? Like, I know it's in Canada, but is there a way, is there a website or something where we could see your games?
Yeah, so we are currently partnered with Twitch. So that's a streaming platform. And our last NWHL season was broadcast on Twitch. And hopefully this year we'll have, they haven't announced all of our sponsorships and collaborations for this upcoming season. But I mean, hopefully if we don't have a national television sponsor for our entire season, hopefully it'll be there by next season or whatever it may be.
Oh, mean girl hockey shouting you out.
Right?
So do you got to be mean to play hockey?
I don't think you gotta be mean, but I mean, I definitely
aggressive.
I don't let anybody push me around. That's for sure.
So we want to hear more about your mentorship. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so actually, upon graduating, like I said before, I didn't know if I wanted to continue to play hockey just because of everything I had experienced. But with that, I wanted to find a new purpose in playing. And that new purpose is playing for the little BIPOC girls behind me that want to play and be welcomed in the sport. So I decided to start my mentorship program. My mentorship program is completely free to all BIPOC women in sport all across North America. So what I do for them, we send out monthly newsletters. We have weekly Zoom workouts when I'm not in season. We have guest speakers, monthly guest speakers. And we really just provide them with a community that they can come to and meet other Black hockey players that are just like them. Most of our girls do play hockey, but I do have a few other girls in other sports. But everything is virtual as well. So that's why it's all across North America. It's via Zoom. We have group calls. I've got a big group chat with them. And it's been great. A lot of the girls have realized that, somebody who is Black and goes on the ice lives 20 minutes down the street from them. And they didn't know that. So that's been absolutely amazing for them to be able to make friends. And if I am in the area, I currently live in Calgary. I'll be going to Toronto next Sunday. So Calgary, I have 2 girls that I work with in person here. And then when I go to Toronto, I'll have about 10 girls that I work with there. And I hope it keeps growing. I've got girls all over North America, but got about 45 girls in the program right now.
Wonderful.
That's amazing.
Now, I had a coworker here in Texas. I'm here in Texas. And so Texas, because we don't get the type of weather that, Canada gets. So I think that's why it's hard for hockey here. But their family was willing to let their son go live with someone on the East Coast or someone to play hockey. I mean, it's like,
oh yeah,
he was like junior high.
Yeah, that's a big thing in hockey is billet families, going somewhere else to play, going to a private school. Myself, I never had, I had offers to go to private schools, but I couldn't necessarily afford that. So I played within my city, but I definitely know kids who have gone all the way across the country to play their sport and to play on the team that they want to play on.
Wow. Now, I think you have a podcast.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, tell us about that.
Yeah, so I run a podcast. I'm the host of Shut Up and Play podcast, where we focus on athletes as activists. So we allow athletes to come on and vocalize their opinions and let the world know why they do what they do. Our first episode was called Taking a Knee. And it was about Colin Kaepernick. We talked to Gwen Berry. She is a U.S. Olympic hammer thrower. We talked to Seattle Kraken president. We talked to multiple people, and the podcast is really meant to showcase athletes as activists and show that we are more than just athletes, and really show that we to give them a platform and to educate others. I think that the first episode is definitely very educational. I learned a lot myself, to be honest, even as the host, and we're excited to continue with it.
Awesome. Ladies, do you have any other questions? We are just, I just really, really appreciate you coming on the show and talking to us moms and educating us on what it takes to become an ice hockey player.
Of course.
Yes.
I hope to see more Black women in the sport because I'm ready for us to take over.
Hey, I like that. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming on the show. And hopefully we can check out a game on Twitch because I haven't seen a game. I would love to be able to see a game.
Carter.
I love hockey.
Renee Carter got a question.
Okay, go ahead and read it.
How can one make it easier for young college graduates to get picked by a Euro team? To be honest with you, a lot of the Euro teams that I have come into contact with, they've reached out to me. And to be honest, most of them reach out via Facebook. I think that that's probably their easiest way to find us. But if not, I would say reach out to them. I think a lot of people are up in the air whether they want to stay in North America and play or whether they want to go to Europe. But if you are looking at going to a European team, reach out, send them an email. I think coaches are always happy to hear from North American players, especially in the European leagues.
Good. Thank you, Renee, for that question.
Very good.
Yes. All right. Any other questions for our guests? Oh,
no, we just applaud you. And I also applaud all the work that you've done for Black Lives Matter and just the awareness of people of color and our value. And in every sport, not just sports, but just our values. So I applaud you for it's not easy to step up, especially when you are one of the only. People of color. It's hard because you just want to belong. But I applaud you for saying, you know what, I'm going to do what's right.
Yes, thank you so much. And I love it. I think I don't care whether my girls, obviously I want them to make it to that college level and potentially play Ivy League if they want, get that scholarship that they want. But at the same time, there's also girls in the program who just love hockey and have fun with it. And developing those relationships with other Black women, I know that that's definitely what I needed. So when I was younger, I needed a strong Black female role model. And I think all of us Black women have needed that at some point. So I'm so glad that you guys are are spreading your light and your insights as well.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Very kind. Well,
All
it's
right.
been an absolute pleasure. Kwasika, you got any other questions? You want to say anything? You always have wisdom.
I was gonna go into would you rather. Do we have time for that?
Yes.
So, Miss Tinker, we have this game really, really quick.
Okay.
Would you rather game, right? And so I just want, and I'm gonna open it up. So, would you rather stay on the desert or on an island?
On an island, for sure.
And why would you want to stay on the island?
I mean, my dad's Jamaican, so I feel like I should be there.
Perfect.
It's in the blood.
It's in my blood.
Yes. I have one. Would you rather go without shampoo for the rest of your life or toothpaste for the rest of your life?
Ooh.
Damn. My curls. I'm gonna say shampoo.
Oh wow.
I have the toothpaste.
Yeah, because you can use baking powder, substitute for that
that's
hair.
True. That's true.
You got some pretty long hair too. So all right, Carmen, you got one?
Let me think of one real quick. Okay. So would you rather I really don't actually. I can think of something. Well, you know what? I'll use an old one. Would you rather superpower? Would you rather fly or be invisible?
Be invisible.
Absolutely. Yes, I agree.
I said that far too confidently, but I mean, I feel like there's always those times where I really wish I was invisible.
Right, that you were in the room and nobody knew.
Yeah.
So you can hear what's going on. Yes.
We listening.
Yes, that's right. All right. Well, thanks again for coming on the show. We really, really appreciate it. And we wish you well on your upcoming season. So when is the season start, or did you just finish?
First game is November. I think my first game is November 6th.
Okay.
So I leave for Toronto next Sunday, and my contract starts October 1st. So we'll be on the go soon.
All right. Well, many blessings on your season.
Absolutely.
And we hope that you have a wonderful season and that God just covers you and no injuries or nothing, and you have fun.
Absolutely. No missing teeth.
No. All right. Sounds good. Thank you, ladies. God bless.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye now.
So it's time for Big Mama, you guys. Let's go.
Hey, let me tell you. What? God, no. If I told him once, I done told him twice.
Hey, Big Mama. You're on mute.
Big Mama. Big Mama, you got to take yourself
There
off
you
of
go.
mute.
I know. Hi, ladies. Good evening. Saroya
evening.
is working all her black girl magic. I am loving it. What is her podcast? Shut Up and Play.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, Big Mama really likes that. Yes, indeed.
Gotta be bold.
So, ladies, I just got a few things this evening. Not gonna hold you long at all. But I want to talk about baby, them Cowboys. So Jerry Jones says, now, well, let me say this. The Cowboys do the opening season, and Dak is ready to come back Thursday night. But Jerry wants to put Zach Martin in the mix. That's the offensive guard. He tested positive for coronavirus, for COVID. So Jerry's saying that if we don't have Zach, well, Zach, to me, is not the whole line. He may be a leader, but he's not the line. And then you have all these other key players that are ready, CD, and ready to go out and make things happen. But personally, I don't think Dak is ready, and I don't think Jerry want to tell us. But that's your boys. So we're gonna watch Brady come to do what he does. Brady is ready. Him and he's world champ. He's ready to come. So Jerry to sit and say that because Zach is out, that we might be in trouble. So Jerry, he was in trouble. You was in trouble when you started training camp. But I'm not gonna be on them boys hard this season. Who that baby? We're gonna come on Sunday and do what we do. But I think those Bucks are ready, and we're gonna see what the Cowboys do. I can't even say a silent prayer for them. You know how Mama feels about them Cowboys. But I love that Jerry already making excuses. So let me my second thing. So Notre Dame played the Florida Seminoles this weekend. College football open. Of course, we know who is number one in the AP poll. Roll Tide, baby. We already know who's number one. But Notre Dame coach Brian Kelly, they won. See, look at him. Just look at him. He looked confused. Well, anyway, the Florida Seminoles gave a run for their money. They ended up tying, going into overtime, and he made this statement that we didn't execute well. That's why we didn't have such a big lead. That's why we didn't win so cleanly. He said, I should go and execute all of them. So, of course, Twitter took that, and the fans, everybody, that he said execute like he's going to execute guys. He comes back and say it was tongue in cheek, but it could have been, but it's 2021 and you just can't do that. So Kelly, just watch your little tone, watch your little sayings. Everything that you say in the dinner table can be said out at the other tables. And my last thing, Cam Newton. Cam, once again, yeah, you better look up, baby, to the hills from whence cometh your help. Because again, you are homeless. So this is the bottom line, Cam. You may not want to be vaccinated, but if you want to work in the NFL, you're going to get vaccinated. So however you want to work it out, call Big Mama. We can talk about it. It's got to happen. So that's all that Big Mama has for you today. But I just want to tell you, remember this season, I'm talking about balance. Balance is not something that you find. Balance is something that you create. So make it happen, parents. Create that balance for your children. That's all I have, ladies.
All right. Where's everybody at? There they are. Oh, that was wonderful. Thank you, Big Mama. So you guys, let's go to parent tip. What kind of parent tips that we have this week for our parents as we're getting ready to close the show?
For our kids, yes. I'm you know what? I'm gonna be honest, guys. I'm stuck on the emotional part with that video. I really felt that. Yeah, I really felt that, and you'll be amazed how many of our kids are dealing with that. And you know what? Sometimes it don't even have to be sports. It could be something at home. It could be something personal outside, friends or family. So my parent tip is find out what's causing the pressure. It's some pressure somewhere emotionally. It gotta be, it's gonna go back to balance. It gotta be a balance, but we gotta, and here's the thing I had realized when I first started this show, and I'm just, being transparent. When I first started this show, I was just so timid, and I'm always I'm not always, but I am a bold person when I speak and talk, but I'm just so timid, and I didn't even know what words to say because emotions were suppressed. We talked about this, Miss Carrie. And so with our kids, a lot of stuff that they hold in, it could be from the childhood. Right. Trauma is big now. It's been big. Like we said, we put it under the rug. And so we thinking it's just sports. And it could be, but then too, it's a lot more to that. Suppressed emotions. They got to get to somebody to where they're comfortable and they're able to speak. And sometimes it's even the parents they're not even comfortable to tell their parents. I'm gonna just be real with you. I mean, we just got to be real, because it's a lot of things that they deal with that we don't even have no clue. We don't even have no clue. So we definitely need to get somebody in, like, I don't even think family. It got to be somebody that is outside, but have that experience, transparent, have God in their life. I'm just stuck on the emotional part, because I know I experienced that. Like, when we suppress those emotions, that's why you may see depression and bipolar, and you see all of that, because they don't kept it for so long.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. I think I just want to say to parents, be okay with saying you don't have to go to practice today. And let's just go to a movie. Let me just love on you. Let's just sit around and talk. Because I can very well say that was my son was just like, we're just a sport family. He was like, I don't even know my parents outside of sports. And that was deep, because that's all we talked about was sports. And so I would just say to parents, be okay with, like, hey, you ain't got to go to practice today. Come on, let's go to the movies. Let's go out to eat. Let's go do something that you want to do. And just let them let their hair down sometimes.
For real.
My tip is very similar to that, Karen. I just say love on these kids. Like, we never know what they're going through. Just like Kawashik had said, depression, and these kids think about taking their lives. These kids, like, they're carrying a lot. And no matter what you do in life, like, if you can't turn to your mom and your dad, if we can't love you through it, then who else will?
Right.
So I just say, just love them no matter what. Just love on these kids and say, you know what? I might not agree with you. You might be taking a different path, different than what I wanted for you, but I'm going to love you anyway. And I'm going to love you through it.
Yes, yes. So that's it for Can We Talk Sports. Be sure to like, comment, share, tell somebody about this talk show. Tell some parents about this talk show and how important it is for us parents to get our voices out. Share this video, subscribe and view on YouTube. And we can't wait to see you guys next week on Can We Talk Sports?
We talk sports.
Bye.